Beterbiev and Bivol went at it for 12 hard rounds in a close and competitive fight that one judge scored as a draw. Two judges had it for Beterbiev, 115, 113, 116, 112. He wins a majority decision and becomes the undisputed light heavyweight champion. Amazing fight. Bivol had no excuses, deserves huge respect too. Great interview. Ryan Garcia thinks that Bivol won that fight. Darren Till was on board with that assessment. Judges again, great fight. I had Bivol slightly. These scorecards are ridiculous, as always. All the judges gave the last 3 rounds to Beterbiev.
Карма настигла своего засранца. Артур, я рада за тебя. Вперед. Теперь
I felt like everything was under control, before the last round, to be honest. I felt like I was land more clean punches. But boxing is not about only clean punches, it's about pressure also, about how you impress judges. And you need to counting sometimes rounds, not punches. I just, to be honest, I don't like excuses, explanations. You know, my philosophy is to be perfect, to not answer on questions why you did this, why you did that, and have some excuses. I feel shame if I trying to explain you why why I didn't win this fight. Just I didn't win, and that's it.
In the main event of UFC Apex 98, Royval probably took the first round with strikes against Tyra. Tyra had Royval's back for almost all of round 2. Royval landed big strikes in round 3, but at the end of the round, he looked like he almost got rear naked choked. Tyra had Royval's back for most of round 4. Royval took round 5 with strikes and taking the back at the end of the round. Royval wins a split decision, handing Tyra his first loss. Brad Tavares and Jun Park went to war for 3 rounds in a pretty grueling fight. In the end, it was a split decision victory for Jun Park, who has won 5 of his last 6 fights. Chidi Njokuani landed over 100 strikes en route to a decision victory over Jared Gooden. Gooden is tough, but all the judges gave it to Njokuani, 30-27 on all the cards. Grant Dawson got the takedown on Garcia in round 1, and in round 2, he was able to land big shots on the ground to get the TKO stoppage in his 12 UFC fights. The only blemish on his record was that Bobby Green KO.
Is having the most amazing and supportive wife that you can possibly have. My first favorite thing is she's got a dump truck you can bounce a quarter off of.
Daniel Rodriguez dropped the first round, but he won the next 2 against Alex Morono. It ends up being a split decision victory in the favor of Daniel Rodriguez. Ramazan Tamirov has a lot of power for a flyweight and is super aggressive, and he puts away CJ Vergara in his UFC debut. He has won 10 in a row, 5 victories in the first round by KO. He caught the eye of Aljamain Sterling. This guy's legit as F. Big power for 125, reminds me of that Lineker at flyweight. Pat Sabatini got the back of Jonathan Pierce and worked his way to a standing rear naked choke victory. He gets the first round rear naked choke submission win as a slight underdog. Dominant round 1 for Themba Gorimbo over Nico Price. Gorimbo took round 2 in a round that was a little bit closer due to fatigue. Gorimbo took the 3rd round on the ground. All 3 judges give it to Themba Gorimbo, 30-27. He's won 4 in a row. He may get a ranked opponent next. Tafa was winning the first round against Sharaf, but he got taken down at the end and looked like he almost was going to get stopped at the end of the round. Both guys were exhausted in round 2, but Tafa kept spamming uppercuts leading to the TKO finish in what was a very sloppy second round. He gets the win though, and credit to Sharaf for taking the fight on short notice. In round 1, Pilastri landed more powerful strikes on McKenna. Her clinch can be pretty brutal. Pilastri took the second round, mixed up her game a little bit. McKenna got the fight to the ground in the last couple minutes, but it was a little too late. Pilastri wins a decision. It was actually a split decision. One judge messed it up, but that's not an uncommon thing. Haddon landed more strikes on Argueta in round 1, and he landed more impactful strikes in round 2. And Haddon also outstruck Argueta in round 3. Haddon wins a unanimous decision, 30-27 on all the scorecards. These guys showed good sportsmanship after the fight. Clayton Carpenter got a takedown in round 1 and landed a big elbow which split open Lucas Hocha. In round 2, Carpenter got a takedown. He got the back quickly, went for the rear naked choke and got it. Second round rear naked choke victory for Carpenter. He improves to 8-0, still undefeated. Last 2 victories were both by rear naked choke. Carpenter wants to take on Steve Erceg next, a fight that was supposed to happen last year but did not end up materializing. The headlining fight at UFC 310 on December 7th is going to be Belal Muhammad versus Shavkat Rakhmonov for the welterweight title. It's going to be an interesting and competitive fight. I don't even know how that fight's going to go. Both guys are really good at what they do. I think one big difference is Shavkat Rakhmonov is a finisher. He finishes all his fights, whereas Belal Muhammad wins most of his fights in the UFC via decision. It'll probably be competitive standing. It'll probably be competitive in the clinch. It probably goes the distance, and if it goes the distance, it can go any which way. How do you see it going? Let me know in the comments. That was a quick title reign by Belal. Yeah, if he loses, that's just over 5 months of a title reign, and who knows, he may never get a shot, so that's kind of crazy. The sport is kind of crazy, but we'll see. Maybe he wins this fight and defends. Co-main event of the card is a flyweight contest between Pantoja and Kai Asakura. Asakura is a former Ryzen champion making his UFC debut. So that's kind of unique, a guy just coming into the promotion and getting a title shot right away. So the UFC is big on Kai Asakura's skills. But Asakura also benefits from the fact that there ain't a lot of fresh contenders in the flyweight division. The last guy who got a title shot was ranked number 10. That was Steve Erceg earlier this year. So someone making their promotional debut and getting a title shot in the flyweight division isn't a complete shocker at all. This should be an exciting fight. I don't even know how this one goes either, so that makes it more interesting. The curiosity element as to how it will go. How do you see it going? Let me know in the comments. Flyweight division's so funny to me. Legit the only division where unranked guys can fight for the title pretty consistently and nobody cares because it's flyweight. Congratulations, Kai Asakura. I watched your fights when I was younger and I will root for you in the UFC. Makayev could have been in Kai Asakura's position right now fighting for the belt, but he didn't play his cards the way he should have played them, and the UFC ended up not re-signing him, and now he's going to be in Brave. It's a cool fight. Kai's good. I knew he'd get a title shot after beating some scooter repairmen and rice makers in Japan. His style is perfect for me. I touch him up and finish him. The division doesn't need saving. Everyone should have to earn their way. Welcome. I can't believe they announced Kai's title fight on Tyra's fight day. UFC 310 also has Vicente Luque versus Nick Diaz, Cyril Gane and Alexander Volkov in a heavyweight contest, and Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling in a featherweight bout. Prelims will probably be headlined by a light heavyweight contest between Anthony Smith and Dominic Reyes. Conor McGregor says he's fighting Dan Hooker in February in Saudi Arabia. The UFC has made no confirmation about that. Kennedy and Zechiku's taking on Chris Barnett in a heavyweight contest on the 26th of this month. Kennedy replaces Justin Tafa to take on Barnett. UFC 308. Next week's card is UFC Apex 99. It's going to be Hernandez versus Pereira in a middleweight contest. Then the following weekend, it's going to be UFC 308 headlined by Topuria versus Holloway.